Java 8 introduced a new toolbox of functional interfaces that significantly enhance the power and flexibility of the language. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the toolbox of functional interfaces introduced in Java 8. These are the parts of new package java.util.function, and there are 43 interfaces in total. But don't worry, we will simplify this by breaking them down into four easy to understand categories. So let's break down the four understandable categories: supplier, consumer, predicate, function interface. Let's check one by one. What is that? Supplier. Supplier interface represents a function that supplies values or object without taking any input. Example, supplier, it is not supplying anything, but we are getting or getting the output. The supplier does not take any output but provides an output. It is useful for generating values dynamically. Consumer. A consumer is an interface that consumes an object and performs some operations on it without returning a value. And the similar kind is by consumer. The by consumer consumes two objects. So here is an example consumer. Yes, it is taking a one input parameter and not returning any output. And by consumer taking the two input parameters I comma s and just printing this. This is not returning any output. Commonly used for operations like printing output or processing data in a functional style. Next category is predicate. What is predicate? The predicate interface evaluates a condition on an object and returns a Boolean result. There is a in the category there it comes like by predicate evaluates a condition on two objects. So here a predicate that takes one object or one input parameter and evaluates a condition and returns true or false. And by predicate is a similar kind of predicates, but it evaluates condition on two objects. Here we are sending the parameters a and b, and if a greater than b, it returns true or else false. Predicates are useful for filtering or validating data in collections and streams. And coming to fourth category is function and by function. Function. The function interface transforms an input object and returns an output object. The by function does the same but take input parameters. Here is an example. Function, it is taking a parameter and it is returning a length as an output. By function, taking two input parameters, a comma b has an object, maybe string or integer types. Here, the particular example, it may be either it will be the integer type, int a comma int b, and here it is taking consuming those things and it is returning the sum of the things a plus b, the integer. It may be anything. Functions and bifunctions are essential for the clean, concise, and maintainable code, especially in Java. And let's discuss about some specialized functional interfaces. Those are unary operator, binary operator. Unary operator Unary operator is a special case of function that takes and returns the object the same time. For example, here it will be take an integer and returns an integer kind of object. And similarly, binary operator, it takes a comma b of type integer and returns the integer kind of output. Lambda expression syntax and type interface. Now let's explain the syntax of Lambda expression, how the type interface works in Java 8. Focus on simply explanation with comparison between two explicit interface types. So here we'll take an example of comparator. Here, we need explicitly specify the type of these input parameters, string comma, string s1, string s2, and we can also remove these types s1 comma s2. So omitting the types of lambda expression simplifies the syntax. In Java 8, you can skip this type of lambda expression parameters and compiler will interface these types based on the context. This reduces the code verbosity while keeping it understandable. Let's conclude. The end of the video will recap and call to the action. So in this video, we explored the four main categories of functional interfaces in Java 8, how Lambda expression can simplify your code. These tools make the Java 8 more concise, readable, and maintainable. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your fellow developers, and subscribe to the channel for more Java tutorials. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching the video.